Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time once again for some more of Steve Jackson's Sorcery. Now, before I begin, just a couple of quick thoughts. Obviously, I intend to slay two serpents with one orb, as the Sun Serpent and the Water Serpent are highly enamored of one another and have an overpowering desire to be together intimately, and yet this would be their downfall, for they cannot survive contact with one another. Now, so spake the witch Fenestra. She also claimed that she would use the Sun Serpent to lure the Water Serpent to her, and that she would then destroy the Water Serpent. She made no mention of destroying the Sun Serpent, almost as if she does not entirely believe in her claim. What else? In the swamp, I managed to get a scroll from some goblins. And the scroll had an inscription with lots and lots of letters. And can I examine the scroll and read it again? Oddly, it's not here. Is it under magic items or key items? I remember it bore the inscription Lix at the top, Lix. Now, it is entirely possible that this could be Roman numerals. So 59? L is 50, right? And then 1 before 10, so 59. Yeah, so turn to section 59 when you use this scroll. That sounds about right. Yes, the Water Serpent is waiting for you in Lake Ilklala, but it will wait until you are alone to try and pick you off, which is why I should not call for the boatman. Now, I also gained the SSS spell. Should have probably gone to the page before I started recording. But hey, that just goes to show how genuinely unprepared this is. This spell enables the caster to force information from serpents. Now, this spell was gained at this tower over here. I first saw the red serpent when I was here, followed it through to here. It would have been possible, if I'd come round this way into the tower, to learn that spell before encountering the fire serpent over here and the air serpent down here. And having that spell would have probably been useful. The more serpents I could gain information from with that spell, the better. In fact, if I had come through the tunnels, gone to the witch, picked up the Sun Serpent's orb. No, because I'd need to bypass her hut's hobbit hole, come down here, get up the spell, come back up here, because then I might be able to use it on the serpent in the orb in her chambers. Come down here, fire serpent. Oh, no. Because if I couldn't use it there, I'd then use this to zip back over here, get the moon serpent. So I could theoretically use the SSS spell on every single one of these 7 serpents. See, my memory, I think, from the original game books, is that the ring, the serpent ring, where is it now? Where is it? Snake belly key, that's not it. Where is the... Oh, wait. Is the serpent ring... Where is my serpent ring? Did the little girl steal it? I had the ring required to cast the spells. Oh, this isn't good. Because I was saying last time, why is that in red? I had the ring. I literally had the ring. I got it in the last adventure. Where has it gone? I don't think the swamp goblins stole it. That... If it has actually gone... Oh, serpent ring. There we go. So, serpent ring. Wording. Wording is important. Serpent ring. No, it's exactly the same. So why? Why then will I get the opportunity to cast a spell, and then the game will say, oh look, this piece of treasure is actually a spell item, ha ha ha, and move it across. And then acknowledge that I have the item. Why is it denying it now? Well, I'm stuck with the problem of trying to cross the bridge, and trying to get over to this side of the mountain range, to the Mampang River, the town there, Lake Ilklala, Lower Salmon, the Karabakh River, and of course the Horns of Ilklala. So, how to cross over? The most obvious way would be to cross the bridge. However, I've restored the bridge with the beacons, and I have been informed that it is entirely possible to complete the game without using the beacons at all. But that it involves waiting for the clouds to move and shift. And there's one place you have to wait for, a place where it only happens once every 45 minutes. You could turn up at any point in that cycle. Would that be for the bridge, I wonder? I'm not sure. I wasn't allowed to clamber up the bridge pillars and onto the bridge here to get up here. How else would I get through? That is a very good question. I don't suppose I could come around the bottom here. There is a gap. A very narrow gap, which I suspect does not exist. Oh, clouds here now. Yeah, clouds are definitely moving. I don't think we could go around the... Yeah, okay. I've also been warned that the toll keeper on the bridge will take all my possessions. And obviously, I have at least one very important possession that I do not wish to part with. Obviously a great many others as well. So I would rather avoid that eventuality. Also, the Sorcerer Pendle. Sorry, I'm too used to Pemberton and Pendleton as English surnames, so it kind of breaks it up. And also the whole Cornish thing where you have like, Pendragon, Penhaligon, and so on. Speaking of Pendragon, actually, there is a new Arthurian-themed computer game that is leaving early access next week, and I'll be whacking that on the channel as well. I've had long reservations about it. I saw the original Kickstarter, didn't back it at the time. Saw what it looked like in early access, just when it was starting early access. Held off. But I think I'll try and find it enjoyable. So the question is, do I think that if I pass through the mountain again, not that I'm sure I can, because the sand monster with the swirling holes in it, which was rather like the little girl, where it's like there's points of no return, where it's like, no, this is as far as she goes, It may not allow me passage under the mountain a second time. So how would I cross over? I think I'm going to have to blatantly use the bridge. So, With that established, it's time to make a move. You clamber down through the trapdoor into the body of the tower, and down I go. I couldn't really do the full spiral staircase thing there, but I did my best. The inside of the tower is cavernous and empty, but for a stone staircase that spirals around the walls. The hatch at the top of the stairs is open. Now it is time to move on. You could go back out to the plain or up to the top of the tower once more. If going onto the bridge proves to be an absolute disaster, I will seek another path. You step out into the sunlight at the foot of the tower. You continue to stride. And stride I shall to the east. Always to the east. The going is easy along the old road. The evening is drawing in. Is it? I'd forgot. Oh, damn it. Soon it'll be dark. A clatter of wheels makes you turn your head. A cart is approaching, driven by a broad figure in a long cloak. I'll greet the figure, suspiciously. You step into the cart's path and raise a hand. The figure raises a fist in return. "Stranger," calls the figure, "do you want blood?" You selling blood? You're a vampire? You collecting blood? And you want to know what vintage or what blood group? What manner of blood? You call. Oh, this is a new picture completely. The cart driver booms a cheerful laugh. "All kinds!" She throws her hood and waves towards the back of the cart. "I am the butcher of Badubak. Steak of oliphant, blue hide of snattercat, ribs of goats." Your stomach rumbles at the thoughts. What do you fancy? Are they all enchanted and going to turn me into horrible things if I eat them? The driver gestures with a brandished cleaver at the back of her cart, from which a thin river of blood trickles. This feels like she's just going to sell me some food. What would you recommend? She considers for a moment. "The snattercat meat is the rarest, of course," she says. "And if you've never tried invisible steak, then you should, just for the experience. It disappears from sight the more you eat it, but bah, oliphant tastes the best." Yeah, well look, see, here's the thing. You say you're going to sell me some invisible food, and I give you the money, and you pretend to put something on the counter in front of me and just, like, laugh and drive off and say, "No, I think I'll go for something I can see, actually. I don't want to turn out like that little girl in the swamp." Although, that might well, in the forest, which used to be a swamp, that might actually come in very handy in Book 4, if I indulge frequently in snattercat. You nod. "I'll buy something from you." She beams with pleasure. "What'll it be? The elephant steak is 7 gold pieces. Blue hide is 10. The steaks are bloody and raw, and will be no good without cooking." To carry armor, then. I'll buy the elephant meat. "Excellent choice," the butcher replies. She jumps down and tosses back the canopy, pulling a bloody joint from the pile in the back of the wagon. She holds him out by the bone towards you. I will cast a spell. I will cast a tell spell. Why is there no tell spell? So, I could make her dance until she just, like, lets me take all the food. Not good. Yes. No. Yap. To speak with the animals hauling her cart? What is driving her cart anyway? Law? Why do I have all of these animal-related spells here? I don't want to cast a lightning bolt at her. That seems very cruel and uncalled for. So. Oh! 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 The God spell. I haven't had the opportunity for this yet. This will be interesting. You cast the enchantment and your jewel of gold begins to shine and gleam. Oh, the butcher exclaims, looking hard at you. My apologies. I didn't realize who you were. She drops her cleaver immediately. Of course, you must have all that you can carry. She steps back from the cart. I'll ask her about the 7 serpents while we're here. I'm not going to take her money. This feels... I don't want to rob her. This feels very dishonorable. What can you tell me of the 7 serpents? She nods blank. Nothing. I've never sold serpent meat. It is unclean. The butcher smiles and nods fervently. Look, I'll... Oh, this feels really bad. You go over to the cart and take 3 large joints and wrap them in muslin to place into your pack. Remember, raw meat must be cooked. You feel the spell beginning to fade. I'll tell her to leave. Leave me, you demand. She nods twice. As you wish. She leaps aboard the cart, whips the oxen, and disappears across the plain, and Khare is going to be pissed off. Oh. There is no aid that Khare might give you now, even if he would choose to. God is going to see as bountiful, generous, and full of great cheer. He does not approve of ill will or evil doing. Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. That was bad. That was, yeah, look, let's just, a broad figure. She does not look that broad. I mean, I suppose if you're American, it's an entirely different kind of broad, but that's that's a pun. So, what do you recommend? I will purchase... Right. I'll buy that. But, spells. Can you wrap it? Can you cook it for me? Will these cost extra? Quite probably. Cart driven... No, it doesn't say what's hauling the cart. Can you wrap it? You hand over 7 gold pieces and she gives you the meat, wrapped in a short length of muslin cloth. You put it carefully into your pack. With that, the butcher whips up her oxen and rolls away across the plain. In which case, I wish to go to Khare. But bugger, that's a long way. Right, so... Let's do it. You step off the clear road and cut across the grassy fields. I'll probably rest in that hut overnight again. The sun lowers towards the horizon. You are back by the low hut. The shepherd who was here earlier seems to have gone. You are still many days from the shores of Lake Ilklala, and the voyage you must take across its waters to Lower Salmon. Am I not allowed to go into the hut now? Fine. In that case, cross-country, through this large... That's larger than a copse. So that's a piece of forest. Those 2 might count as a copse, possibly. The plain turns to rock and stone. Another night begins. You should try to find a place to sleep, especially after walking all day without food. You stride back along the edge of the mountains. This is not a good place to stop. Sleep in the open. It's literally not a good place to stop. I'll keep walking. Suddenly, all around you goes quiet. The night air itself seems too still. Seems to still. 1-0, so it seems to become still. So it seems to still. Not it seems too still with 2 O's. You hear a distant voice. I will listen. You stay quiet and strain your ears to listen. Greetings, in tones... No, I'll read... Greetings, in tones of voice aged and self-satisfied. I trust the Baklands are treating you as kindly as my fair city. It takes a moment to place the voice. It is Lorag, the Wizard of Khare. What are you doing here? I am here to help as you helped me and my fair city. You have a message in a language you do not understand. I may be of assistance. Perfect. Licks it up, explain the licks. How do you know this? He's a ghost. He has... Ah, so I am right, exclaims the wizard. Far-seeing can be so unreliable. Well then, you feel your fingers reaching out as if to take something. Show it to me. You pull out the parchment given to you by the goblins, and then your eyes begin to move by themselves backwards and forwards across the words. You have little choice but to read. Yes, the wizard murmurs. I was right to come. Bear in mind, he tried to trick me and rob me, but also explained... That was strange, right? That was very strange. That he... Because in every other instance, he's borne me goodwill and been helpful. You feel your finger lift and tap the paper. It is most interesting, he concludes. Indeed, most valuable. Promptly, the voice vanishes. What does it say? You call out, but the wizard's presence has gone. You are quite alone once more, and none the wiser for it. Time to move on. You must find your way to the shore of Lake Ilklala somehow. It lies to the east. It lies east of the Horns, a towering range of mountains. For a long time Analand had hoped these peaks would protect them from the Archmage. No one knew his birdmen could fly so high or so far. Do I? So it's not a new clue. It's not a new clue. Goblin message. That's parchment containing some kind of writing, but you cannot read it. Why? I just... Now I'm intrigued. Also, I have some raw meat, which I intend to cook in Kariyama. Speaking of which, that lies in this direction. You pick your way over the rocks to the edge of an old road. The first few stars appear. I hope it will not be too late by the time I arrive there. You climb towards the village once more. You stop just outside the gate. You could return or skirt around it. Straight in. Walk right into the village. You enter the village once more. You stride further in. The fire. To the fire. Wait, I might need to go without food tonight. The night is cold and dark, and most of the villagers are asleep. The communal sleeping hut is open. The fire? Is it still lit? You head back to the fire pit in the village. The fire is built high and hot. A few people are gathered around, staring into the embers. As you approach, one of the villagers leaps up startled. It is Mia, the girl who led you to the tunnels. She stares at you, shaking. You thought I was dead. Or greet her. She's the one scared. No, I'll go straight for this. You thought I was dead? You inquire gently. That man is a ghost, she declares. I know it. What do you mean? You ask curiously. He went into the tunnels and they collapsed on his head. I heard him scream. I didn't scream. I heard you! It was a terrible inhuman scream! That was probably your dog. You answer cruelly. The girl gasps and covers her mouth in horror. So you've been down there? One of the villagers asks. Into the tunnels? When they collapsed? I did. You say with a shrug. I did, you say with a shrug, but I found another way out. Those tunnels go down and down all the way into the netherworld, and there's no way back from there. The other villagers grumble in agreement. I came out on the other side of the ridge. They look between each other in disbelief. We've been sticking prisoners from the mine in that mine for the last 12 years, one says. Are you saying they all just wandered through and came out in the marshes? Perhaps. Most likely not. Perhaps, you reply. I saw no bodies. One of the villagers stands up. We are a peaceful village of peaceful villagers. There's nothing for you here. Welcome to Royston Vasey! We are a peaceful village of peaceful villagers. Is he about to ask me to leave? He declares. We cannot have strangers freeing our prisoners. He's a ghost, Mia chimes in. You won't be able to bury him alive. He'll escape. You know, I've committed no crime. Gred will decide, the villager replies. Trial by burial has always served us well enough. Why don't you take me for... Wait. You spread your hands and gather starlight for a spell, but you're not fast enough. They grab you by the arms, hoist you into the air, and you're dragged all the way towards the plains. Damn it. Slightly different take. Ignore... No, she's going to cause a scene regardless, so I might as well make her look bad so it's not all me, the villain, right? What do you mean? Look, I just want to cook this meat and go to sleep, you know? I didn't scream, implying I wasn't the one who... You know, it wasn't my scream she heard. And I was there, and I know I didn't scream. Okay, let's ease off on the dog. This might be nicer. That wasn't me. That must be something else. So you've been down there, one of the villagers asked, into the tunnels when they collapsed? Yes, I did. I came out the other side of the ridge. I saw no bodies. You know, you should probably listen to the girl. Gred will take me to the tunnels instead. That is for those known to be criminals. For you, we only suspect. Should you pass the trial, then we will take you to the tunnels, he nods. I hope that appears fair. They grab you by the arms and hoist you into the air. You're dragged out of the village towards the plains. So, this feels like almost everything's gonna... We've found a lot of people buried. So, you're dragged by strong arms across the plains, but somewhere on the way, the grip seems to fade. I could struggle to break free and then run. I kind of want to keep walking so that they don't tighten their grip and lull them into a false sense of security, then run. You keep walking, and every step you take, the grip fades, and you I'm going into a different time zone, aren't I? I'm going from the past back into the present. And every step you take, the grip fades, and you find yourself elsewhere. The fields underfoot disappear, turning to dust. You are back on the endless desolate plains of the Baklands. A lucky escape indeed, but now, where will you go from here? Well... Bloody sun's coming up soon, isn't it? Sod it, let's go back to the statue. The present version of the statue. You continue across the plain, and the meadows recede to dry dust. The sky is beginning to warm in the east. There is little of the reclining statue left in the rock face of the cliff. If the god Chaos, or Chaos, I think I went with cut off because I didn't want to make it too obviously chaos, once had a presence in this place, he is long since walked away. The rocks are lifeless and the air quite empty. I will look at the cliff. The statue's feet are still mostly visible and the top of its head, but the figure's belly has been eaten away by the rains and winds of the plain. I will rest here. You settle with your back to the cliff and try to get comfortable. You have not yet eaten today, but there is nothing you can do to fill your belly. Well, then I shall just rest without sustenance. And hopefully pray. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. Now, I could have gone much more trickstery in the village, but as a devotee of the god Korga, I'm trying to take a more honest and honourable approach. And also, when I have claimed to be a sorcerer, people have just taken me at my word and not mistrusted me in this particular region. So I should use that and play to that to be a little more honest, because they won't question it. You close your eyes and let your tiredness overtake you. What is left of the night is restless with visions. A small rabbit hops up to your feet, quite tame, then raises its eyes, which burn bright and terrible red, with all the force of a red eye of Khare. Through it all you feel the heat of Analand burning should your quest fail. You lost some gold, 7 pieces, and you collected the Sun Serpent 2 days ago. So you have now defeated 4 of the Serpents of Mampang, and should get a bloody move on to try and get the others. You get to your feet once more. Let's make a move. You march forwards. Look, if I go back to Kariyama, they're not going to let me cook this meat, which means I need to find somewhere else to do it. You head away from the cliff for the road. The day is likely to be clear and will be hot once more. Well then. You climb towards the village once more. You pause just outside the village entrance. You could return or skirt around it. I think now I will avoid going inside. You creep past around the palisade, put off by your previous experience of the place, and keen to keep moving. And indeed I shall do so. You continue on your way, up the mountain path. So far, some fairly negative experiences, but... Wait, how can I... No, this is dumb. This is really, really dumb. You follow the winding path to the foot of the staircase once more. I need to get... I probably can't. I need to get back to the witch's house to see if she can help me decipher this message. So what the hell am I doing here? Well, I'm here now. A set of well-carved steps leads up the mountainside. Heat beats down from the cloudless sky. At the peak of the mountain is a sudden plateau looking down across the marshes to the east. But you may not need to tramp through them again, as a magnificent stone bridge spans outwards from this peak. I will approach the bridge. Away eastwards. Away eastwards. You stride forwards, but a figure emerges from a low hut by the head of the bridge and blocks your path. Oh, look at the figure. You stare at the hunched figure. He is aged, leaning heavily on a wizened stick with one eye much larger than the other and a hunch on his back. Maybe he, strange creature that he is, with half a hat on his head, may be familiar with strange languages. The figure shambles onto the first stone of the bridge, sighing at the effort. I'll wait for him to cross. You wait for the crooked man to limp away across the bridge, but he stops again, as though unable to walk any further. He turns and props himself up on his stick. I'll announce myself. "Ho there," you call out. "Greetings." The figure turns to you, leaning heavily on his stick. "An ugly sort. What brings you here? If Vankas bridge you wish to cross, prepared be for dismay and fear." "Are you a Vankas?" you cry. "Vankas is my name, it's true. I'll give you that. What good it do?" "I wish to cross your bridge, O bridgekeeper." He nods. "This is my bridge, it spans the rift. To pass you must provide a gift." The sudden image of a black face mask pops into your head. You know, I have that. I do. Ooh. Haggle. Cast a spell? Can I cast a tell spell? I don't think he's particularly simple-minded. I can. Kid. Yeah. Any sudden change of an illusory nature would arouse suspicion. Zip. I could just teleport past him onto the bridge and then he could mess me up. And he probably knows a lot of counters. Oh! Ooh! Dim. Ooh. So. I should not cast a spell that I already know the counter for. Right? No, let's. This feels like there are other opportunities I should look at. I could pop a rock. Not ideal. So I'm not wanting to defeat him. I'm wanting a greater understanding of the situation. Pep. The fact that he was able to send an image into my mind already. Magic protection. Yeah, I'll want to know what counters this. You cast the enchantment, but the spell seems to fizzle out. Vankas nods. "Curses like chickens will round your head be flocked," he murmurs, "lest you learn that every spell you cast is by another blocked." Yes, I'd like to know about this. I'll pay his price. Reluctantly, you hand over the face mask. He regards it for a moment, then shakes his head. "Don't like it. It's no good." Without pausing, he tosses the black face mask away over his shoulder, and you watch as it tumbles away out of sight. "Something better, if you would." The outline of the orb of crystal appears in your thoughts. "I've paid once already." You declare outraged. "My bridge, both east to west and back it spans. So pay once for one, then you must pay again." "No." I will haggle. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement. You begin. Vankas shakes his head without interest. Then the hunchback looks up sharply. "Unless a simpler price you'd gladly pay, an arm, a leg, a finger, pray?" "No!" You shake your head. Vankas shrugs. "Just as you please. Patience is some men's disease." With a thought, he gently reminds you of the original price. The orb walk away. Your heart, you find, is pounding. You turn and leave the mountaintop. That bastard took my thing. So there really is... Okay, let's see. So, by removing some spell components to cross the bridge, And we don't know how many he will want. I think I can live without the black face mask for now, but do I want to rewind? Let's say I do. Let's say... And I think he will counter every spell the same way. So, wait and watch. Yeah. Look at the figure. Announce myself. I should have looked at the hut. Confirm who he is. I wish to cross the bridge. Let's go with a simple tell. Hang on, there's got to be something. So, he countered this without countering it. I could try dim, I suppose. Yeah. Same counter. Okay. You recognize... Oh! You cast the enchantment, but Vankas raises one arm on which is hung a bone bracelet. He utters something under his breath, and a moment later your spell is evaporated. Curses like chickens will round yon head be flocked, lest you learn that every spell you cast is by another blocked. You recognize a spell is cast, so then the magic of stupidity is blocked by that of illusion. Excellent! Let's learn some more! Ooh! Throwing away stamina for health and profit. So. Let's... count as kid. So kid is also then counted by dim. Shall I look at the picture? Is the bracelet in the picture? No, it's not. Okay, so there's no obvious clues there. Right. Let's learn. What? Zip is counted by gum. Zap. It's got to be counted by something. Tell. Okay, I'm basically looking here for spells I don't know the counters to. So. He doesn't tell me what counters magic protection. So. Dim is the only D. P is... I could pop a rock. I don't really want to go with the offensive ones, but it's worth learning in the long run, right? Zap. So I got... Hang on. So we got Kid and Dim. They cancel each other. Tell... Counts... Yaz. Is Yaz available? So, essentially, RV... No, it's not. Okay, good to know. So... No D, no T, no M, ZP. One of these involves a spell component, the other does not. Looking at the constellations overhead, you craft the spell, gathering a bolt of lightning into your palm, but Vankas pulls out some kind of jewelled medallion in return and begins to hover up into the air. A moment later, he is on the ground and the lightning in your palm is gone. Vankas shakes his head. "If you will not learn the rule," he replies, "you must expect to be taken for a cretin, not a fool." His spell is familiar to you. It seems the pattern of lightning negates the spell of levitation. So, let's learn how to pop a rock. Because I already know the counter here. Will this use it? Quite possibly. So I should go with magic last, right? You wind the starlight into shape around you, and one of your pebbles begins to glow and pulse with energy, but then Vankas responds, throwing up some kind of invisible barrier between him and you. A moment later, your pebble is faded to a mere stone, and the wall is gone. You know his counter-magic. It would seem the enchantment of the barrier is opposed by that of explosion. Excellent. What other counterspells can I learn here? So, D. I just want to be thorough here, okay? Dim Kid, got it. Dim Kid does not do well at school, apparently. And Kid, just checking it's only the one for K. So, magic moments. There's one coming up. Till countered by Yaz. So DTK MP P. I don't have the firewater, so I'll go magic and just see if I can learn. I don't think I can. You weave the spell, but the spell seems to fizzle out. Interesting. I don't want to pay his price. There has to be another way. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement to begin. Vanka shakes his head without interest. Then the hunchback looks up sharply. Unless a simpler price you'd gladly pay? An arm, a leg, a finger, pray? No. You shake your head. Vanka shrugs. Just as you please. Patience is some men's disease. With a thought, he gently reminds you of the original price, the face mask. I'm going to just turn around and walk off. Your heart, you'll find, is pounding. You turn and leave the mountain top. Well, I have a feeling he is going to ask for every single spell component until he's got rid of all of them before he'll allow me to cross the bridge. And I also suspect he's not going to give them back to me once I get off on the other side. The walk through mountains is tiring and time-consuming. The wind picks up as the evening draws on. It will be night soon. I wonder if the old priest could translate the scroll. Priest and a witch, right? The slopes of the mountain burst into sudden colour. Ropes slung from prayer flags of all colours crisscross overhead. I'll look around. This is where the illusionist was, isn't it? You pause to look around. What is so special about this place that warrants the decoration? I'll look at the rocks. You scout around the rocks and crevasses at the edge of the path, but find nothing in particular. I'll look up at the flags, and then there'll be a spell next. You look up to the flags which cross and recross the path, suspended from tall wooden poles set into the earth. It must have taken the effort of several people to erect this place, but what for? The lines of flags form a triangle with one corner higher up the mountain and two on either side of the path. The flags flap and rustle in the breeze. I'll investigate... Wait, what spells do I have available here before I begin investigating the corners? B for big. Yep. S for science danger. Well, I'm not looking for danger. I'm looking for treasure. Sap. Who would I want to make depressed? Magic protection. Probably a good idea. Dop. I do not see a door. Let's be cautious. Consulting the stars, you bind the magic, and a veil of magical protection shimmers into place. Now, I shall investigate the top corner before the bottom corners. You trace the flags up the slope, clambering over the rocks until you reach a pole set higher up with to which several lines are tied. The pole is carved with the symbol of an open eye. I will touch the symbol, and I am protected from magic, so it may be that nothing happens. You touch the symbol of the open eye, but it is just wood. Nothing happens. You rejoin the path, and I will investigate the bottom two corners. You follow the flags to the bottom left corner, where several lines converge on a single pole. This pole is also carved with the symbol of a circle in which is a single closed eye, as opposed to the open eye at the top. The pole on the other side of the path is identical. I will touch the symbol. I am protected, so I expect nothing. You touch the symbol of the closed eye. Nothing happens, but you feel suddenly connected, as though the sky above had split open and a great presence is watching you. I will gaze up at the sky without removing my hand from the pole. Oh, shit. What's going on? Oh, no. No, 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 no. You turn your head to the heavens and have the sudden giddying feeling that you are falling upward through the clouds in which the stars and into the stars and depths of the very night, but your body has not moved and only a weight has been lifted from your shoulders. The deep voice of Khare is receiving. In its place there is nothing. Only silence. You snatch back your hand and the curious sensation disappears instantly. I'll look elsewhere. That's really bad. Yeah, that's really bad. Okay. Let's completely undo that then, because that is a disaster waiting to happen. Walk on for... No. No. Right. Oh, I have to do all this again, don't I? Okay. I did approach the bridge first. Let's go with that. Get a good look at him. And then I want to be learning all the spells. Now, that is one of the original illustrations, so... Kid... Wait. Okay, I tried it. I was like, hey, he can cast Kid, can he also cast Dim? So obviously, I'm learning as many counter spells as possible. Gonna pop a rock. Zap a lightning bolt. And I presume he has all the spell component items to counter every single spell that's available here. Right. Wait. Oh. Hang on. So. I think I'm onto magic protection already. That was not an M. The M is right here. Okay. Haggle. An arm, a leg, a finger. A leg? A finger? No, I'm not going to go with either of those. Whose leg, whose finger? Could I bring somebody else's? I'm leaving. So, having magic protection doesn't protect me from the closed eye staves. Also, this appears to have changed now. The clouds have shifted. And it should be fairly obvious to all of you what I'm doing here. You pick your way down the slope and meet the road. Clouds rumble as they roll across the inky sky. Soon it will be dark. I don't care. I'm going to a tower. And I'm going to go in. I feel that I should pray. Koga has heard you and you feel better. I will now hop inside and get some rest. Pack is empty and you cannot eat. I can't cook either, apparently. You lie back and try to forget your troubles. You feel quite safe here and you do not dream. But time, or rather provisions, are running out. I wonder how he would feel if I had robbed that butcher. So I'm going to blatantly touch the crystal, hop across into the basin, and then fail to find a way out of it. However, I'm going to go downstairs. It's time to be zen. Then again, removing many spell components feels like a definite choke point way of ensuring those are not available later for specific spells. Like you cannot have those items if you go beyond this point. So perhaps it's just like a guaranteed you will not have these things in the next. Right, so I'll float across the pool. A small, bold plane of rock. You splash through the water. I was literally flying. Oh, this is landing on the other side. But after a while, it seems to dry up, leaving only dry rock. You make your way easily to the other side. In all directions, the forest has been replaced by marsh, except for here. A small, bold plain of rock. A little way to the southeast, at least, the stone tower still rises, though it is dwarfed by the violet mountains behind. That's okay. Now here, your weight returns and you settle gradually back down to the ground. As the sun climbs towards its zenith, the winds pick up. The pillar of the great bridge shadows you from its impossible height. You walk on. No going up there. Right. It is hot now. You're starting to sweat under your pack. With each step, your boots sink into the mud. Hey! Magic time! Zen or fall or... Yeah, let's just lighten my weight. You craft the enchantment and feel yourself becoming more buoyant, rising up until you are gently resting on the surface of the marsh. You continue to float above the mud, and I go this way into the forest. The marshland dries up to thick forest once again. You are back amongst the trees of Snatter. Your weight returns and you settle gradually back down to the ground. Mid-afternoon heat makes the air damp. You emerge into the clearing once more. From somewhere nearby you hear a tapping noise, but then it is gone. Not a woodpecker, I'm sure. I'm gonna blatantly go knock on the witch's door. You approach the door. I will knock politely. I mean, she didn't hear me the last time, but I might as well try anyway. You knock twice, and Fenestra's voice replies, oddly loud considering it comes from below. Leave me alone! I'm working! But perhaps Fenestra can translate the goblin parchment for you. And maybe she's invisible nearby, having experimented with the Snattercat milk. Maybe she's just inside the door. I need to translate a message. You call. After a moment, Fenestra opens the door. A message, she requires. Show me. If you promise to help. You reply cautiously. She waves your negotiation away. Yes, whatever. I'll promise anything. Doesn't mean I'll keep it to it. Just show me what you have. I will show her that you seem very interested. She sighs. Do you want me to read it or don't you? Well, I do. She takes the parchment from you and scans it quickly. A slow smile spreads across her disfigured face. You have no idea what this is. You have no idea what this is, she asks. This tells the weakness of the Serpent of Time, the most deadly of the Archmage's 7 serpents. How did you come by this? I was given it. Quite some gift. You returns to the paper and you wait. I presume that she returns to the paper and you wait. Developers? Slight typo there. Finally, she finishes her study. This line is the key. She taps the paper with a fingernail. In time, all things must end at last. The back and forth of ages past. Time's great light will cast a pall. 2 times too many. Time will fall. She smiles. Quite a discovery, do you not think? But what does it mean? Are you stupid as well as illiterate? She asks quite genuinely. I would have thought its meaning was more than clear. She nods twice, clearly satisfied with her reading, then she hands the scroll back to you. But I don't understand it. Thank her. So this is... The fact it's in italics means it's likely to be a spell incantation. In time, all things must end at last. The time serpent has to end. It can't go on forever. The back and forth of ages past, the time serpent is going back and forth, as is the land. Time's great light will cast a pall. So a pall is... It's pale. It makes things weaker. It's like a pale, weakly light. 2 times too many. Time will fall. Nine? Wait, no. 18... No. 2 7s are 14, right? I am probably overthinking this, but this has got to be a clue. What other help can you give me? She rolls her eyes. You're as bad as Fizram, she complains, then slams the door in your face. You step away from the hillock once more. The clues have been updated. Tracks lead both ways into the forest. Now. Stupid idea. The only clue to the Serpent of Time's weakness is a riddle. In time, all things must end at last. The back and forth of ages past. And it literally created a slithering time reversal spell which makes that section the opposite of what the beacons make it. Times great light will cast a pall. Oh! If I shine 2 beacons on the serpent? Is it really that simple? Fizzram. Apart from sounding like Fizzban from Dragon Age, Fizzram, I'm not sure. The path leads away into the trees and soon into the swamp. Oh. Oh, shit. Yes, I can. Good, great. The dense branches give up and the land changes to a miserable fetid swamp. The sun begins to dip, heading towards the horizon. The ground is sloshy and thick with mud. A moment later, one of your boots disappears entirely, sinking into the muck as far as your knees. Before I pray for aid... Could I zip? Causing other people to dance isn't going to help me. Big... That would... Right, it would make me stronger and taller so I could step out of what I'm sinking into, but it would make me heavier so I'd sink faster. I'd better just go with this again, I think. Once again, you cast the spell and rise to hover on the surface of the mud, relying on it a little too heavily, I think. You keep onwards, hovering above muddy water. A few steps further, you come across a bony hand sticking upwards from the mud. It is clutched into a fist. I will open the fist. You snap open the finger bones and find a stack of gold pieces. It seems as the creature sank, it held out a bribe in case anyone should come by who might be able to help. Unfortunately, you are somewhat too late. Can I meet this person in the future? No, this is already the past. I should pull him out now. You relieve the poor creature of its coins, then it's time to move on. I hope Korga is not too offended with me. And how can I... Hey, what happened? Your weight returns and you settle gradually back down to the ground. The sun is sinking. From somewhere terrifyingly overhead, a gold piece plummets to earth and burrows itself into the dirt, dry mud by your feet. You dig it out and pocket it from the bridge overhead. You continue to stride. Why is someone up above giving me money? Why do they think I will need money? And which one of these? I could shine this one to here. This one to here. This one obviously here for a second one. There is something very wrong here. And I would like to work it out, but I'm clearly stuck in a rut and not thinking well enough. The sun is all but gone. It'll be dark soon. You stand on it. Look, I'm going back to the tower. Because the towers are a safe place to look. Can I just, like... I don't want to swim. I didn't have to swim. You cross the dry rock. After a while it pools into water where it comes to your knees, but before it can get too deep, you're up on the edge of the forest once more. Yeah, so... Oh, I can cast spells here. Doc would be lovely if I had a medicinal potion, but I do not. So... This isn't going to help me anymore. I'm now just repeating the same vision. Don't need to cast Zen yet. F-O... Okay, no force field. No. It's just all F's and Z's. Alright. No. I will head inside and slumber. This is a dry, sheltered, secure place to rest. You set yourself down against the bark of the ancient tree. You have not yet eaten today, but you have no rations to nourish yourself. You stretch out and rest. You're protected here, and your rest is unbroken by dreams. Yet, you've gained considerable gold, and you collected the Sun Serpent, so you have now destroyed 4 of the Archmage's serpents. Well, well, well. I think I want to go up the tower. And I think I may want to... Look, let's look at it. Oh, hell. Rising above the tree line is a looming shadow. The bridge, now mostly rebuilt thanks to the shimmering beacon light. It stands like a wall splitting the valley in two, impossibly high with its upper roadway lost in clouds. Whoever built this must have been a great giant, a magician, or more likely both. So, I need to decide how badly I want to cross that bridge. It is one of the original illustrations from the original game book, so it may very well be a unavoidable path. If he's going to confiscate a lot of my magical items, how do I feel about that? Is there another way? I do not seem to be capable of crossing here. Now, next question. How possible is it to cross the bridge without the beacons? Would it be a case of watching how these shift and change? Is this bridge the place where I would have to stand still and wait for really long periods of time? I mean, it's already happening a bit, right? Because obviously I want to get to the village of Tinpang. Once I get here, I can shine this beacon back this way, which means I can then redirect this one down that way. And this one... Well, this one doesn't need to go this way, right? I can just completely shift this one straight away and point it over there. I don't need to come and get this one to point it this way to go like that. Also, pointing 2 beacons at the serpent is probably not how I defeat it. I think I'm going to take a little break here and give it some thought in between episodes. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, even though it's been kind of full of wandering and meandering and not a lot really, but I did find out some useful information. And I will look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'm going to say bye-bye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone. Thanks for watching.